We're live! Welcome in. Thank you so much for coming. I'm Rochelle, and this is Brampton Gardener. And today is going to be a fun episode, I hope, all about going live and some question and answer sections. And I'm going to just walk you through setting up your first live, maybe a few things about Nightbot, some moderator stuff, all that kind of information. So if you are watching this on the replay, thank you very much. And if you drop any questions that you have down into the comment section, I will be sure to come back and try and answer those. And maybe, we might end up doing a follow-up video down the road. So I just want to say thank you to everyone that has come in. Let me just check my comment section. Oh, I clicked the wrong button. So I remember the first time I went live, I was like, oh my goodness. Let me know if the music's too loud in the background. I thought I'd try a little background music tonight. Yeah, so my first live, I was like, oh my goodness, is anyone going to show up? That's like the number one question I think everybody has. Is anyone going to show up? What do I do if there's no one in the chat? Like right now, no one's commenting. I see 2 people are watching, but you're like, oh, what if they don't show up? You know what? Just keep it rolling. So my first tip for you is if it's your first time going live, you might want to do a bit of an outline. Okay, so if you're used to kind of scheduling your videos or treat it like a video. So think about what you want to talk about, think about how you want to present it, and make yourself a little outline of things to talk about so that when you turn on the camera and you don't go like phrase, right? You don't want to phrase. You always want to keep something talking, keep something going. So if you have just a little notepad of some ideas of things that you can talk about, things that are going on with you, so that if you do kind of lose your train of thought, you can look at that and it will keep you going. So the first thing I want to talk about is when. So you might wonder, when should I go live? I'm going to turn this music off. I think it's distracting me. So that's the thing. Shut out distractions. So pick a time where you're not going to get interrupted, where you don't have to worry about the dog barking or the kid waking up or someone coming in, because that's going to throw you off your game a little bit. Another thing is, I'm going to recommend don't schedule your live. When you in life, especially if it's something, if you're scared to do this, if it's just something you're like, oh, I just don't know how to do it and I haven't got around to it, that's one thing. But if it's something you're kind of afraid of, nothing is worse than anticipation, right? So if you schedule your live and you say, okay, I'm going to schedule it for next week, or I'm going to schedule it for 3 days from now, or whatever, you have that much time to be stressed out and to freak out about your live. So I'm going to recommend right here, right now, if you decide, you know what, I really want to go live, I'm nervous about it, just do a pop-up live. Just do it. So that way it takes away that anticipation and that fear from it. And it also gives you a nice excuse if no one shows up, because you're like, oh, well, it was just a pop-up live. No big deal. Okay. So that's my first advice. Just do it. Just go live. And the other thing is, people are super helpful, especially in the gardening community. So if you say you're going to go live and you put in the comments or the description of your video when you go live, and it says first time going live, practice run, something like that, then that is going to be something that, people are going to come in and they're going to expect you to, stumble a little bit or not know how to click this button or how to click that button. And they are going to be there and they're going to be very helpful and they're going to give you advice. So they're going to be happy to do that. People are so gracious with their time and their expertise. They're going to be super happy to just be able to help you get through that, just pat you on the back, support you and everything. And that's really, really helpful. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is setting up. You don't have to have moderators, but I know a lot of the channels have moderators. And it is helpful for a few things, especially if you want to drop links. Then that's great. Sometimes you're busy doing your thing and you just want to say, hey, to a mod, can you drop this person's link, or can you drop a link to this thing on Amazon or whatever. Also, if you get someone in the chat that's misbehaving or being a little rude, something like that, then you can, go ahead and your moderator can take care of that for you, especially if you're in the middle of like interviewing someone, or you're busy doing something and you haven't quite seen it yet. If you have a couple of moderators in your chat that you have added, then it just makes it a lot easier for them to, they can take care of it. You don't have to worry about that. Hey, Mayfield Ranch, how are you doing tonight? Welcome in. Hope you are having some decent weather. We were super hot last week, and then we dipped down this week. And tomorrow's supposed to be 85 and humid. So that's going to be really exciting. So hopefully you've been having a good day. Yeah, we're doing all right. Keeping busy. I'm holding off planting. We have a couple cold nights. I think it's Sunday, Monday. And so I'm just kind of keeping an eye on that forecast. I might plant some stuff this weekend for, you know, that's early or whatever. But, ooh, all the way up to 100. Oh my goodness. That is brutal. Wow. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's no. It's way too early in the season for that. Absolutely not. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. Actually, I'm going to do this. Okay, so I'm going to make this bigger. This will be larger. Hopefully you guys can see everything that's happening. I'm going to try and make this screen as large as I can. Okay. I just made this screen larger, not that one. Bear with me. There we go. Okay, so here is the, here's just my dashboard on YouTube Studio. I only use the desktop for stuff like this, so I don't know how to get to it in the app, if it's even possible. I don't know. But here is how you're going to go in if you want to set up some mods and you want to set up a few kind of guidelines for your lives. You go in down here into the bottom where it says settings, and you click on that. And now here's information about your channel. Here's just your general information, your channel information. If you've never been in this section, go check it out. Here are keywords, and these are keywords that's for your channel. So you have 500 word characters. Fill that in with as many keywords that you think could apply to your channel. Upload default is super handy. I don't have anything on the title because my titles change all the time, but I have like my description thing set up here. It has all my links and all of that. And then, you know, the main tags that I use. My visibility is always going to be set to public unless I need to change it, but that's the default, right? So these are just quick defaults, so you don't have to enter in all that information every single time you do an upload. Then you have your permissions. I won't go into that, but here is the section that you're going to want to know about, and that is community. So here are your moderators. So you're just going to paste, copy paste the URL of who you want to be your moderator in this section here. I don't really know about approved users. Never use that section. Down here, these are hidden users. So these are people that have been in the chat and have posted something inappropriate, and so you've blocked them. So they show up here. Live redirects, I don't really know how to use that, but this is another thing that is interesting. I have blocked these words, .uno and xxx. These are two words that I noticed kept coming up in, not so much in the live stream, but in my comments. So YouTube was holding the comments for a review because I had that clicked, but there were just quite a few of these that kept popping up. So once I put these into my blocked words, they didn't come up anymore. So let's say you have a channel and they're just a certain words, or people come in and they talk about things that you do not want talked about on your channel. You can just put those words right here into the comment section and it will not allow it to appear in your chat. And I don't think even on your comments, but I can't swear to that. But yeah, I think so. I think on the comments, or it'll at least put it into like the section where you have to check it. And then down here, block links. So this is URLs that are sent in live chat are already blocked, but this is for URLs and hashtags that will be held for review. So this is like if people post a link on your comment section, you know, especially because a lot of times there's like pornography links or whatever that can be put in there. If you put this on here, it gets rid of all that nonsense. So that's just a way to set up if you want to add a few mods to your channel right there like that. So I'm going to close that out now. And I am going to go in and show one more setting. And all of a sudden I can't remember where it was at. Was it in customization? No. I'm trying to remember where it was at. So yeah, if you haven't played around in these sections, there's a lot of great things in here. So here's your branding, basic info. No, here's your channel stuff. No, it must have been back in here because Pam was talking about it on her live, and I can't remember where it was at. Okay, if it comes back to me and I find it, I'll let you know. So there are two channels, and I will drop them down into the chat in a minute. That have great information for lives and for your YouTube channel. So the first one is going to be Pam from Container Crops. She goes live every Wednesday night, and she most always her lives are dealing with YouTube. So YouTube tricks, YouTube tips, new things, new features on YouTube, how-tos. She's got a great video on how to keep up with the chat, which can be a real problem sometimes. People can get really far behind in the chat, and it can just get really stressful for everybody. So she has lots of great advice. So I will drop, actually I guess I can just, no, I can't search it here. I'm going to pull this back down. I will remove that. And then I'm going to go over here to YouTube, and I'll type in her channel. So that is Pam at Container Crops. Lots of great information in her lives. The other one is going to be Mr. Boots and Bounty, and his is more technical, and he does lives. I want to say Wednesday. I cannot swear to it. Let me just grab her channel. He does lives, and he talks about like the technical side of things. He takes you through Nightbot. If you have questions or you're struggling with things in your channel, he's super helpful. So I'm going to drop his link right now, and I will add these to the description after as well. Okay. Mr. Boots and Bounty. So another thing, like I was saying, like make sure you use your your little cheat sheet or whatever if you want to have on the, is this it? Mr. Boots and Bounty. Yes, here it is. Mr. Boots and Bounty Help Desk. That's what he calls his live. So super helpful. He helped me get Nightbot working, but I don't see Nightbot in here tonight. So I don't know where Nightbot is, but hopefully Nightbot shows up. I thought I logged in. You're never going to get it 100% right? So I just gotta click on this. Okie dokie. All right. So what I mentioned really quickly with Pam's channel on keeping up with the chat. So there are a few different ways you can do that. I've never used the slow-mo setting, but you can adjust the speed of how often, the frequency of how often people can comment. So you can do it as like a 5-second delay. You can use, I think, I've never used it, so I know I've seen 5-second delay, I've seen 15-second delay, I've seen 30-second delay, I've seen 2-minute delay, which is like an eternity. Never ever used that. It drove me insane because sometimes I don't finish my comment all in one sentence or one go. And I go to finish it, and then I'll hit enter, and then I go to finish it in the next one, and it's like you have to wait. It's like do. And by the time you get there to finish it, they're off talking about something else. So I don't mind the 5-second delay or a 15-second delay. Anything longer than that, depending on the subject matter and your live crew, it can be kind of annoying. So I don't really recommend it. If you really need it, or you're starting out and you might want to do that, that's up to you. But ask for feedback. So because I was in one live and they had it on, and everyone in the chat was kind of like, oh, sorry, whatever. And so they asked, they're like, is this bothering you? Should I shorten it? Should I lengthen it? And everyone was like, yes, shorten it. So feel free. Sorry, I'm choking. Feel free to ask for feedback at any time you're doing a live, right? So if you're like, I wonder if is the lighting wrong? Can they hear me? Is the music too loud? Can you hear this? Can you hear that? I've got a kink in my neck. Can you hear it crack? Feel free to ask the group, right? Like it's not like you're giving a lecture. You're not up on the stage. You're not supposed to be some kind of professional. It's YouTube. We're just here to share our experiences, to share our information, our knowledge, and ask questions, right? We're all here to learn and just to kind of hang out. So don't think of it as, oh, you have to, have everything 100% right. You have to be like, you're up at a podium and you're giving a presentation or something like that. No. Think of it more as like a Zoom call or chatting with the friends and family on, FaceTime or something like that. Changing your perspective of how you feel about it might really help. So going with the keeping up with the chat. I like to keep two chats open. So I have the chat open in StreamYard, and then I have the chat open in YouTube. I just do the pop-out chat and I put it at the bottom of my screen. I find YouTube is a bit faster with the comments than StreamYard is. And tonight's really quiet, so I can't like give you an example too much tonight. Hopefully we'll have a few more people show up. But what you want to do is just, I know it's really, really hard, but try and keep up with reading what's going on. And if you're interviewing someone, it makes it extra hard to keep up with the chat. I understand that. But every so often, like if you're telling a story or you're really involved in something, pause, go back, catch up with the chat. Don't let yourself get too far behind, because the problem when you get too far behind, you get 5 minutes behind, you get 10 minutes behind in your chat. You're sitting here talking about something, right? Like I'm sitting here talking about, you know, my seedlings, and I'm like, oh, look at my basil. What kind of basil are you guys planting? And I start talking about all my basil, and we discuss the basil, and then I move on to my tomatoes. And then a few minutes later, I'm looking at the chat coming in, and now everyone's talking about the basil that they planted. Oh, I'm planting cinnamon basil. I'm doing lemon basil. I've got lime basil. So then now you go back. So you stop the tomato discussion, and now you go back to the basil. So basically, if you get behind in chat, you end up kind of discussing everything 2, sometimes 3 times, because you want to address those comments when you see them. And it can get frustrating, I know, for the hosts, and then kind of the people in the chat. They're like, we've already been over this. We've already seen the comments, you know, keep up. Sometimes, you know, if you get really, really far behind. So you might wonder, okay, what do I do? If I get far behind, what do I do? I'm going to tell you right now, say, I'm sorry. I'm so far behind in the chat. If you had a question or something really, really important you want me to see, mention it again, but I'm going to drop down to the bottom of the chat. I'll go back and watch the in the live later, and hopefully, you know, if there's a question or comment that I've missed, I'll address it, you know, in the comment section below, or I'll message you. But just jump to the bottom of the chat. Try to keep up. Try to keep everything moving and flowing, and keep up with the bottom of the chat, because people have come into your chat. They're taking time out of their, you know, their schedules. Everyone's busy. There's, you know, 5 million different lives going on all at the same time. So I do think it is nice to be respectful of people's time in that regard. So another thing I was going to mention, show and tell. If you're like, I want to go live, but I have no idea what I would talk about. I poured my heart and soul. I put all the information I know into my videos that I put out this week. I have nothing left to talk about. Do show and tell. So if you've been gardening, even if you've done a video, I've done a seedling tour of these already. People love to see things live, because, you know, you can move it, you can turn it. They can ask live questions. If you sew, if you knit, if you crochet, if that's what your channel is about, if you make soaps, anything like that, even if you've done a video on it, people love to be able to see you holding it, and you can say, oh, can you turn it around? Can you put that closer? Can I see that side? Can I see this with that? And they can ask questions, you know, in the live that you can answer and show them better. So show and tell, and it doesn't have to be on topic with your channel. You can show them anything you want. You can bring your, I had Dexter up here. I've had Gizmo on. I've had Dexter on. You know, just anything to kind of keep engaging and, you know, keep the chat flowing. So that is probably one of the number one things I should have mentioned at the beginning, is no dead air. So if you're kind of frozen and you don't know what to talk about, ramble. You're better off rambling a bit than just being silent, because nothing is more awkward on camera or on a live than dead air. So if you're sitting there and people have been commenting and you're like, oh, okay, I'm going to go check the comments. No one wants to watch you read the comments. Read them out loud, right? So no dead air. So say, oh, hi, Rochelle. I hope you're doing great, right? So if you're going to be reading the comments, read it out loud, unless it's inappropriate or something, and then it should have already been taken care of. So always, you know, just ramble, even, you know, talk about something you already talked about. Just, you don't want any dead air. That is the worst. So, while I have them here, I will show you. So this here is my lemon basil. These is my Siam basil, which is doing really well. I'm very excited. Here, I'm going to take that off the screen. And yeah, you can pop the comments right up on the scene, right? Hey, Pooh Bear, how are you? Thank you so much. How small was your channel when you first started doing lives? Oh my goodness, I would have to go back and check. I did them in, I think my first live I did was last May. I don't know, I might have been around two or 300 subscribers. I can go back and check that, and I'll leave it in the description below. I'm not 100% sure how many I had back then. I know I didn't get to like I didn't hit 500 subs until December. Christmas Eve I hit 500. So back I think I got to 400 in August. So back in May, I was probably looking at 200. But like, I know YouTube like has a limit of how many subscribers you have to go live. If you go through StreamYard, there's no like bottom limit, right? You can have 1 subscriber and you can go live. So that was the reason I started using StreamYard. That is the question we all ask. That is the question we all ask. Like right now tonight, I have 4 people in here. Usually I have 15 to 20 people in here. I think that's because there's another big channel that is going live tonight. They've started doing their lives at the same time I go live. So that is going to, I don't know if I'm going to end up changing my lifetime or not. We shall see. Or maybe it was just a subject matter that they don't really care about because they already go live all the time. And they're like, I don't need to watch that. I don't know, but it doesn't matter. Because you guys are here and that's all that matters. So even if you have 1 person, oh, and it's funny because Pam at Container Crops was talking about the first time she went live, she went and she sat on there and she just talked to herself for an hour. Not 1 person came in. Her second live, she did the same thing and I think 1 person came in. She says, just do it. You're doing it for the experience. If someone comes in and watches it later, you still get the watch hours, whether it's live or after. And if no one comes in and it's a total bust, you can and you're embarrassed, just delete it. No one will ever know. So, don't worry about it. Everyone's been there. Everyone's had lives that didn't work out or people didn't show up, things like that. It just happens. Don't take it personally. Sometimes it could just be a bad time. I know this time of the year right now, we are super busy. Gardeners, farmers, everyone's just getting stuff in the ground, getting stuff outside. They're doing all of their own filming. Their spare time is spent doing editing and resting and taking a bath. So to be watching other YouTube videos and to be in on people's lives, it's a tricky time of the year for people. I find last June, like once everything was in the garden and I got everything watered in, and I was actually kind of struggling for content because, everything was planted. I didn't have any seedlings to update. My weekly, live tours, everything looked the same. It wasn't until July things kind of started growing. I started having a few things to harvest. I started having flowers to bloom. So in June, it just depends on the season, what's going on in other people's lives, right? Don't take it personally if people are watching or not watching or whatever, right? These things happen. Yes, I have so much appreciation now for all these YouTubers and never has which work it is. Oh my gosh. Yeah. And it takes every project, every gardening project, everything you're doing outside, it takes it, 2-3 times as long because you have to think, oh, where can I set the camera up? Do I have room for this? I'm on a hill and it's really awkward to like try and set the tripod up, to aim at the hill and to not get knocked over by the dog who's a maniac and likes to run into the legs of the tripod. And I have a very, very small, narrow yard and it's very hard sometimes to get the angles and the shots. And sometimes it's like, I need to do this and I need to work here. So that is why sometimes I'll just take the GoPro and I just strap it on to me. And it's like, you just get the hands-on view because it's not practical for me to try and set up a tripod and move it around. Like it's just not going to happen. Hey, Rebecca Davis, welcome in. I have a funny story. So we were watching, hi, Rebecca. We were watching a YouTube video and I can't remember what it was about. But my husband and I were watching it. It wasn't gardening related, but they've done a really nice job on this video and the project and all these different angles. And he just stopped and he goes, man, can you imagine how much work goes into producing a video like this? Like it must take you 2 or 3 times as long as it would just to do the project without the cameras going, and then you got to edit it and then and I look at him, I'm like, are you talking to me? Are you, what? And then he just starts laughing and he's like, oh my God, yeah, you know. But it's funny because he's just used to me doing it. And it wasn't until he kind of stopped and pictured like someone else doing it, how much work it is. And it is. It's a lot of work. It's rewarding. It's fun. But yeah, it can be a lot of work. And sometimes things get put off because you're like, oh, I need to film it. And like when I got sick and my tomatoes needed to get potted up, but I was like, I got to do that on camera. So they got potted up later than they should have. Because of that. So sometimes quality control can slip through the cracks, my bad. Just because of how you're, you know, you got to do what you got to do. You got to have content, right? If you don't have anything to put up on your channel, no one's going to watch. So I'm still on my show and tell. So that's the other thing, go with the flow. So if you're in the middle of talking about something in the chat, people in the chat are starting to talk about something else, go with the flow of the chat. You can get back to what you were talking about later. So these are my jewels of opar. They're just starting to, sorry, they're in the mountains. They're just starting to pop up. You can see them here. But my friend Nicole down, she has her channel, Nicole Smith Gardening, and she had a bunch of these growing. They kind of have like these long kind of wispy blooms on them, and the leaves are edible. I don't know what they taste like, but they're edible. So that'll be kind of fun. I'm planning on using them mainly for flower bouquets, a nice, you know, wispy filler. And then I have my borage at the end. I planted 4. And that's the only one we got. So, but I think from what I've heard, that one will be enough. And then, so we're taking a quick pause for plant tour, show and tell. Some seedling update. Here we go. Whoop. Actually, you know what? I'm going to take off the, I don't know why I didn't think of that sooner. I will drop the background right now. I'm just going to, oh, that's, nope. That's awkward. There we go. Okay. That way you can see everything. So down here on the end, these are my tomatoes. So I have Kentucky beefsteak, vintage wine, and kaleidoscope jewel. And I already have way too many tomatoes. I have no idea why I started these when I did, but it was an impulse. My drumstick, I had 2 that came up and they died. They were not happy. I have 2 heavenly blue morning glories that are starting to misbehave. Oh my goodness. Nope. And then I have, these are called Blue Point zinnias, and I keep forgetting to look up what they even look like. I don't know. I got them in a seed swap. And then I have Queenie Lime zinnia, are these ones here. And then I have my exotic pink. So there's the zinnias. They're getting kind of leggy because I haven't been bothering with my grow lights at all. They're just in the window. They haven't been out in the greenhouse. I should put them out in the greenhouse soon. Then over here I have my amaranth. Next up is my kohlrabi. That needs to get planted out. Sorry, hitting the microphone. And then here's my onion. Now I'm starting to see, it's called nodding onion. And I am actually starting to see some sprouts. So I see 3 coming up, just barely. So I kind of given up hope on them. You can kind of just see these 2, like tiny little, over here, tiny little sprouts coming up. Nothing on my prairie grass. I don't know if it needed stratification or not. Nicotiana is going cray-cray. That's what happens when you accidentally drop tiny, tiny seeds all over the tray. So those will have to get thinned out, but they're doing all right. This here is my parsley. And then down here on the end is my roselle. So roselle, let me just pinch that off the end there. Actually, no, because I'm going to pop the head off. So roselle is also known as sorrel. It is used to make teas and juices. It's very popular down in the Caribbean. And also the leaves can be used in Indian recipes, like an Indian pickle. It's got like a nice bitter leaf and it makes a beautiful Indian pickle. My friend gave me some from India, and she said, oh yeah, you can't get it here. You can't make it here because you can't grow, you can't find the produce. It's not there. Hey, Nicole, no problem. I was just talking about you, actually. I just showed the little seedlings from the Jewels of Opar that are finally starting to sprout. And I was going to mention Miss Nicole. So I got these seeds from the seed library here at the Royal Botanical Gardens in Hamilton, Ontario. And I put them in the soil blocks and nothing. I waited like 2 weeks. Then I waited 3 weeks. I thought maybe they're just like a slow start. So I know that Nicole has some. And so I asked her, how long did it take for those to germinate? And she's like, I don't know, 4 days. I was like, okay, how did you do that? And so she said she did it in the baggie method. And I was like, okay. So that day I went and they had quite a few seeds in the pack. So I poured like 15 seeds into a glass, put some water in it. All the seeds floated. And then 4 seeds started to sink down. And I was like, well, this would explain why I had such a poor germination rate because, usually if seeds float, that they're not really that viable. So I waited a few days and the 4 seeds that sank started to sprout. So I stuck them in the soil blocks and now 3 of them are popping up. So big shout out and thank you to Miss Nicole. Because I'm really excited to be able to grow the roselle. And it was funny. So my friend had given me this Indian pickle and it was absolutely delicious. And I had never heard of the name of it. And she also had this tomato pickle, which was really good too. And she said, oh yeah, my friend came from India. She brought a big container of it here. I want you to try it. She goes, yeah, you can't get it here. And I was like, oh, really? Because we get a lot of stuff here. And so I was kind of surprised that we can't get it here. And she goes, yeah, she said the name of it. And so I just Googled it. And it's like also known as roselle or sorrel. And I was like, what? So yeah, they use the leaves in this recipe. And so my friend was like, oh yeah, you can't get it here. It's very rare, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, I have seeds for that. And she starts laughing. She's like, of course you do. She also makes this amazing green tomato pickle. So I don't know if you're familiar with Indian food. They make a lot of pickle. So it's vegetables that are like chopped up with tons of, it's not like a regular, like just pickle in liquid. It's tons of like spices that can be really spicy and then they can them, right? So they use all kinds of vegetables. Carrot pickle is one of my favorites, and I love the mango pickle. So good and spicy. So you can get a mild, you can get a spicy. They pickle everything. And so I was really, roselle. And so anyways, she was, sorry, stop clicking. She was really excited a few years ago when this tomato season had come to the end and I still had quite a few green tomatoes and I was going to use them to make some like tomatillo style, like green tomato salsa. And she said, oh my gosh, she loves making this green tomato chutney, or pickle or chutney. I can't remember. It could be a chutney. She said, you can't buy green tomatoes. So she doesn't grow tomatoes herself. She's like, you can't go to the store and buy green tomatoes. So she hadn't been able to make this green tomato dish in ages because she didn't know anyone that grew tomatoes. So I was like, I got you. So I grow the tomatoes, I give her green tomatoes, and she gives me back a little bit of green tomato chutney. So it's all working out really well. So yeah. So now, hopefully I will get enough leaves. Like, I don't know, like, greens, when you cook them down, I don't know. But hopefully we can get enough greens this summer and I don't use them all in bouquets. And she can, she can at least make a small batch or whatever, right? So I'm glad you love this story, Nicole. You probably heard it before. Yeah. So I'm actually really surprised that we can't get it here. And so I am going to actually keep looking because, the Asian grocery store we have, they do have like a large Caribbean section. And we also have a Caribbean grocery store and you can buy like the dried sorrel there. So I'm curious if maybe at like the Caribbean market, if you could buy the leaves there as well. I'm supposed to be getting some rose-like or roselle seeds soon. I'm going to try and see how I do with it. Ooh, that sounds exciting. Oh, you know what? I should show you pictures of Nicole's because in all fairness, I was supposed to be getting roselle seeds from Nicole in our seed swap. And somehow they did not make it into the package. All right. Somehow they did not make it into the package, which is fine. But I did get the Jewels of Opar. I did get the Birdhouse Gourds. They're huge. They're enormous. I totally called you out. I totally called you out. I did that too, and it was the main thing. I was swapping with someone, and I found it later in the drawer. Like it had slipped out of the envelope or something, right? So I have Cranberry Hibiscus that I grew last year, and I have 2 of them growing this year as well. And you can make tea with it. I did add it to some tea. I don't know. I didn't find it tasted that exciting, so I didn't really bother with it too much. But yeah, I think I just enjoy growing it. They're beautiful. They kind of look like a Japanese cut leaf maple. Okay, so I found it. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to go find my little window. Here we go. Share. All right, and these are pictures from Nicole's garden. Oh wait, that's not sharing the right screen yet. Hold on. These are pictures, nope. From Nicole's garden last year that I asked her if I could use them for my video that I did. So she sent them to me, graciously shared them with me. I bet it makes a much better tea. Look at this when it's blooming. Like, this is gorgeous. I don't know if I have a long enough season for me to see any of the blooms on it this year. I will be happy if I get 1 bloom on it, I'll be honest. Because like they're so late getting started. I should probably have started these like in February. Look at that. Look at that. You know what? That's one thing I really love about Nicole is she's so humble, you know? Yeah. Amazing picture. And I'm going to show you the other picture too. Here it is. So this is what, okay, so this is this before or after they open? I know, might be a dumb question, but. So this is the bud, right? Like this is before it opens, right? And then that's what it looks like after it opens. And then what are you harvesting for the tea? Is it like the dried pod? Like the dried, I don't know. I'm going to have to, you're going to have to talk me through this. I don't know what I'm getting for the tea, but these are the greens. These are the leaves that they use to make that Indian pickle. And I cannot remember the name of it. Okay. So this is what the after, okay. Cause it looks like the flower bud before, but this is like after it's done blooming. This is like this, is it like the seed thing inside it? This is weird. I don't know. I don't understand. So this is what you harvest to make tea and jelly. And what does it taste like? I actually bought a package of Roselle or Sorrel at Ample. The flower comes first, and then these are the plump red pods. Okie dokie. So yeah, I bought a package of the dried sorrel. I don't even know how to say it anymore. Because was it growing in the city with Stacy? Is that her channel name? I'm like, I can't think of her channel name if that's it exactly. Farming in the city with Stacy. She's down in Jamaica, and she did like this Christmas punch or whatever with Sorrel. And I was like, ooh, I need to try that. So I went and I bought them at the store, and then I never did anything with them. So I need to. I make iced tea all the time. So I'm wondering if I could just pop it into my iced tea. I think that it would even like add some color and flavor, right? Hey, G Mama. Welcome in. Thank you so much for coming. It reminds me of cranberry, a little sour, but in a good way. Okay. No worries. Yeah, that sounds good. So yeah, I make iced tea all the time. Like I have a half gallon mason jar that sits in the fridge all the time. And every couple days I just throw in some new tea bags or loose leaf tea, and I just cold brew it right in the fridge. So it's just really nice and refreshing. It's something healthy for me and the kiddo. She loves drinking those as well. So maybe I will drop a few in. I also bought roses, like dried rosebuds to make tea with. And then I was like, I don't know what to do. I don't know if you just boil it. I need to watch a video. That's what I got to do. I got to watch a video on how to use them and how to make a tea. Because a couple weeks ago for Mother's Day, the local bubble tea shop did 3 different kinds of rose tea for Mother's Day, and they were absolutely delicious. And the rose tea latte at Starbucks is one of my favorite drinks. So I buy at the Chinese grocery store, they have black tea. It says rose, and it's rose flavored black tea. It smells amazing. If I've done any seed swaps with you, I might have popped 1 or 2 in the package with the seeds just to keep them from getting crushed. And I absolutely love it. It smells amazing. So I did buy the actual rose buds, but I haven't done anything with it yet. Right. Hey, Huga, how are you? My hostas has spots. According to research, I need a fungicide. Any suggestions from anyone? I've never really dealt with that. And I've never really used any fungicides in my garden. Sorry. I am not the one to ask. If anyone else in the group has something for you. Fungicide? I would be curious to look up and see if maybe if you want, you want to go natural, I would try neem or maybe even hydrogen peroxide. I've used hydrogen peroxide a lot with other things, so I'm not sure if that would work, right? Hydrate the rose petals and then add them to my hot water when I'm making tea. The more fragrant the rose, the sweeter the tea. Oh, interesting. But these are they're whole little mini buds, and they're so cute. And I don't know, should I crush them or should I this or that, or I don't know. Oh yeah, milk. I did read that for blight, if you have blight or something. And baking soda. Very interesting. We got a ton of water. See, I've never had a problem with my hosta. Sometimes they'll go brown a bit because I have some that are in full sun because I'm in Canada and they can do that. But I've never really... I want a mortar and pestle so bad, but I don't want a little mortar and pestle. And that's all I can find around here. I want like the big one that I can make guacamole in. So I've got my eye on one somewhere. I'm going to have to try and check it out. But I keep forgetting. And then when I want to make it and I want to have that, I don't, and I'm mad. Yeah, I could just crush it. I mean, I got a bowl. But yeah, I want a nice, like the stone ones, right? Because, yeah, the ones they have here, they have like the little tiny ones for like, just for seasonings and spices and stuff, which is fine. But I had one somewhere. I don't know where it is, but I want the nice big one. That's my goal. I'm sorry, I'm rearranging. I've been having trouble with my hip lately on this side, and then I was having trouble with my knee on the other side, and my heel was bothering me, and it's all connected. I know it's all connected. I got to get back to doing my yoga regularly. I've been bad. So, yeah. Okay, so the other thing I was going to... We've totally sidetracked, but that's all right. I was going to go through like setting up a live if anyone wants to see how to do that. I use StreamYard because YouTube is weird. I got started using StreamYard. I've used Melon, which is kind of a similar way to set it up, but StreamYard, it's really simple. It's easy to use. And you can have up for the free account. They do limit how many hours you can go a month. I have not had a problem with that yet. I haven't hit my limit, but you can have up to 6 people up on the screen at the same time with the free account. So you can have, 5 guests, which is great. I bought it. Oh, I'm so mad about you getting to go to Hobby Lobby. Need bone connected. It's so true. It's so true. Okay. Tangent. Last fall, I was having trouble with some plantar fasciitis, and it was happening on my right foot. And I watched a lot of YouTube videos, and I finally found this one, and this guy was saying the number one cause of plantar fasciitis is a tight calf muscle. So I was stretching it out, and he had some kind of interesting stretch moves to try and kind of loosen that up. But mine wasn't tight. I do a lot of yoga, so my calf muscle wasn't tight. So then he said, if it's not the calf muscle, then more than likely it is a weakness in the outer muscle on the hip of the opposite leg. And that is the leg that I knew was weak at the time because I'd had problems with my knee on that leg. And so I was really, I needed to strengthen the muscle on that side. So that made total sense. I did the exercises on that side and the stretches, and within a few days it went away. So then when my heel started hurting on my left foot, on the weekend after being at Wonderland all day. I was like, oh yes, of course it's on my left foot because I've been having trouble with my right hip. So I've been naughty and I haven't been doing my exercises like I should have. And here I am. So I gotta do all my stretches. I gotta do all my exercises. I have been using some of the kinesiology tape, and I find that is really helpful to just kind of help strengthen and support your joints and muscles while you're kind of doing therapy. Welcome into Chicken. How are you tonight? Good to see you. Thank you so much for stopping by. The chicken, yikes. Yeah, I've got a lot of joint issues. Starting from when I was a kid, I used to roll my ankles all the time. As a kid, double jointed, flat feet, yada, 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 all that stuff. Did that link work? Are you not yeah, you're a mod. Are you not a mod? Oh, it did work. Sorry, it just doesn't show that it worked in StreamYard. Ooh, Nicole's dropping a link. Woohoo! The tape is amazing. I ordered it off of AliExpress. It came within like 2 or 3 weeks. I've used it on my back. I've used it on my hip. I've used it on my... I've used it on my ankle. I have some on my foot right now, which I'm not going to show you. Because I was out in the garden and I took a shower and I don't know what that tape's looking like right now. Bubbly. This is the brand new blackberry flavor. Randy bought it for me. It's delicious, by the way. I wasn't a huge fan of some of their flavors, but that one is delicious. So yes, the kinesia, I did some on my face. I have some before and after shots. The face, oh my goodness. So you put some of the tape here and you... So the taping on the face can be used for, there's overnight for wrinkles, and then they have some for lymphatic drainage. So if you have like puffiness here and here, and it has really helped slim down my face. I have struggled with problems with edema. So I do use a lot of massage and like gua sha on my face with the stone massager just to help keep the lymphatics going. The tape worked really good. That was awesome. Yes, that's addictive. Also, I'm addicted to this chiropractor called Moondragon, who does these like amazing chiropractor adjustments, and she does gua sha on people's backs, which is like, it's kind of like a metal tool that you gently scrape along people's backs and they go bright red. It's kind of similar to the idea of cupping. So it's pulling blood to the surface to help with healing. I don't know. I find it absolutely fascinating and I can't stop watching them. And I'm trying to talk my daughter into gua shaing my back. I did it to myself on my neck. I had a really bad cramping neck. I had scraped a whole ceiling, painted it, and it was just killing me. And it just was so tight. And I'd been watching some of these videos and I thought, you know what, I'll just try it. So and they recommend not using this, but some people do and some people don't. But anyways, it worked. So I used the handle of the butter knife and I literally just went here. I'll use, I won't use my, so this is my daughter. She's been knitting. I promise I won't pull it out. She would kill me. Let's see if I can find a pen or pencil. Oh, I'll use my, this is my giant crochet hook that I use for poking out corners of things I'm sewing. So yeah, so what I did is I just went along back my neck. So I was using the handle part of the knife. Don't use the serrated edge or the sharp part. And you just push and you go like this, right? And you do short strokes and you go like this. And I don't know, it's probably turning red already. I don't know if it's turning red, but I stood and I did it for about 5 minutes. Hey, Kareen, welcome in. How are you tonight? Thank you so much for coming. And look at Nicole. Look at my happy little moderator over there doing her job. So I did that and I was heating up dinner and I just did it standing at the stove and I did both sides. And I couldn't see what I was doing. Put it in the dishwasher. I washed the knife, finished making lunch. I was like, oh my God. Like I was able to turn my head. I was able to move my neck. I got it. It just went like crack, crack, crack. Like it felt so much better immediately. And my husband walks in, he goes, oh my God, what happened to your neck? Like you got a terrible rash. So what happens is the whole area gets red from the rubbing. And then they claim these little tiny dots. And so it's called pink sand is what it is. And it's where there's like adhesions in your fascia. And so anytime there's like these adhesions in your fascia, it goes like bright red little dots. And so what you're doing when you're scraping that is you're kind of, this is how they've explained it. So like, you know how when you kind of like you squeeze out a zit and you go squish and you squish the zit out? When you're doing this, basically you're kind of squeezing out any like blood and fluid that are trapped in the muscles and in the joints and in the fascia. And so that it can come out and it can heal. So it doesn't come out, like it doesn't break through the skin. It just kind of gets lifted or pushed out of the muscles, and then it increases blood flow, increases whatever, and then everything can move and loosen up. So yeah, it looked absolutely horrible. So do not do this if you are planning on wearing a low back neck or anything like that. The red rash, yeah, it was kind of I'm really hoping Martin's not watching too. He won't be able to handle this. No. Yeah, so it's called, I'll type it into the chat. Gua sha, I think. You know what, maybe I'll pull up a video if you guys want to see. I mean, it's super cool to watch, and I'm trying to talk my daughter into doing it on my whole back because I have back problems. I get sore. I work construction with my husband, and so like, you know, I'm working and I'm moving all the time, and so but that was about 3 weeks ago. The bruising, it's not bruising, it's bright red. It's not, it doesn't even bruise or go pink or anything like, or purple or anything like that. But it does, it goes away about 3 or 4 days, but I'm still like, my neck still feels loose. So now, like when it gets like tense or it hurts, I can lean. Oh, did you hear it crack? Like I can still get in there and I can crack it. And, okay. So, now they have gua sha for face, and I've done it on my face. Like I've done the massage. It does not do that. It does not do that on your face when you're doing it. On your face, it's just like a nice gentle massage. And you're using usually like a, some kind of like a jade or, a lot of times, oh, this guy makes it. We're not watching your ads, dude. Okay. All right, here we go. All right, now I gotta share my screen. Hey, Humdan Garden. Thank you so much for coming in. I'm old SB friend, but you are not come in my garden. What? I'm old SB friend, but you are not come in my garden. I'm not sure I understand that. Oh, hey, Kicking It with Harold. Welcome in. Thank you so much. Did I miss anybody else while I'm over here describing my rash? My not a rash? Was not a rash. Okay, so we're going to share the screen. Where's my window? Here we go. Oh, good morning in Pakistan. Oh, welcome in. Thank you so much for coming in. My doctor's from Pakistan. Random fact. Fun fact. My doctor and her husband are both from Pakistan. Okay, so here. All right. I don't know if you can hear it. That's as loud as I can get it on there. Let me try and up my volume. Can you hear it? You don't really need to hear him. So we're just gonna. Okay, here we go. So he uses this tool. You push fairly hard, but oh, ew, it's like moving stuff around in there. Actually, yeah, traditionally what he's using, it's like a Chinese soup spoon. That's what they use traditionally, like the porcelain style soup spoon. Hey, you know what? Look it up. Look it up. Look for massages for TMJ. There's also another guy. Okay, so do you see the pink? This is a terrible video for it. Let's skip ahead. Okay, so do you see like the little dots? The darker spot? That was a terrible video. So see, this is like the ones for the face, like the face rollers or these like this. You can get them at the dollar store or like Winners, HomeSense, TJ Maxx, Ross, whatever you guys call them in the States. It does not do that on the face. Okay. Here. Oh yeah. Look at this back. Look at this back. Okay. So these little dots, all the little pieces there, that's called pink sand. So you can tell like where he's had, get that up there. You can tell kind of like where he's had trauma or injuries. So like this area here, he's fine. But over here, like, and honestly, I didn't have to rub very hard. Like it didn't hurt at all. It did not hurt at all when I did it. Yeah. It's not like a bruising. It's not red from being hurt or from being bruised. It's literally like getting squished up out of the muscles. So it doesn't hurt. Yeah. Oh, thank you so much. I know it looks terrible, but I want to have it done so badly. It's one of those like hurts so good because I mean it just feels like instantly I don't know, and I'm so stiff and I might be a weirdo. I think we're all weirdos. You don't want it? No? It didn't hurt. Like the one I did on my neck, it didn't hurt. No. I like a nice deep tissue massage. Like if I want my money's worth, but yeah, you need that on your neck. You know what? Honestly, I did it myself with the back of a knife handle, and I just did it nice and gentle. I put some lotion on first, so I did a little bit of coconut oil that I had in the kitchen, and I just did a little bit, and yeah, I find it fascinating. And I think it's Moondragon, this lady, or is it Mondragon? She's a chiropractor. Like I am so tempted to, I can't type because I can't see the thing in front of me. There she is. I want to fly to Florida and get treated by her. Like she just does the most incredible treatments. She does full massage. She does the gua sha on people's backs. Like she just gets in there and cracks it. Oh my God. Like, yeah, it's fascinating. And I'll be honest, I like popping zits, and when I was in Florida, I went to school to be an esthetician, and doing the extractions is what we call it. Those were my favorite, especially like, you know, blackheads and whatever. And there's this tool that you use. So you got the face, you know, you cleansed it and you've steamed it and it's all ready to go and it's soft and pliable. And then you just take this tool and you scrape and all the little jibbly bits come out. It's fascinating. Loved it. Sometimes it would take too long and the teacher would be like, okay, Rochelle, Rome wasn't built in a day. Like, you can't get it all out today. I'm like, I want to do this. That's why you got to put the lotion on. You got to lotion up with the coconut oil. And then you got to say, Martin, put some oil on my back. Yeah. He'll come. He'll put the oil on your back. Give him a knife, butter knife. And just... But I have like the rose quartz shaped one I got at the store. So, but yeah, like I've done like the scraping like that. I've done it on my legs. I've done it like what I can reach comfortably, my ankles, my legs, stuff like that. And it doesn't leave those marks like it does on like the neck and the back. Just because of, I guess, the way the tissue and everything is at. So yeah, I'm a weirdo. Yes, it is. It's like you're squishing all the toxins that are in the muscles out that you can't even see. Yes. That's what I used on my neck. I used the handle part of a butter knife. Worked great. Hey, Capone. How are you doing tonight? Welcome in. Nice to see you. My neck, my back. Yeah. Yeah, so it's like, I kind of was like, reaching, what can I reach in the mirror and do? I am so tempted because there's certain places on my back, especially in my low back and everything. I used to have real problems. I crashed my bike when I was a kid and I damaged my vertebrae up here and down below. And so I've been told that I should be 2 inches taller than I am. because I had damaged it. And so I did have to go to a chiropractor regularly when I was a kid. I had a lot of what I called shocks. It was like it was like a pinched nerve. It would like send like painful shooting pain through my body. Hey, Danny, welcome in. Woohoo! Ooh, you're all hot and sweaty, and I bet you could use some gua sha massage right now too. I bet that would feel good, especially on your hip. Ooh, you should look into that. Get yourself some coconut oil and get yourself a butter knife and go on YouTube and look up gua sha for a bad hip. Ooh, I should do that on my hip too. And do it quickly. And if you are going to be doing it, don't do it before an event where you're going to be wearing anything backless. Just saying. Don't go to the pool. Don't go to the beach. They will kick you out of that pool so fast. Oh my gosh, if you showed up with that, that would be terrible. Oh my goodness. I know that song. Oh, yeah. Okay. I totally missed that one. Nice, Nicole. Come in my garden. I'm guessing you have not heard this song. I might have. Speaking of songs, I'm still mad at Randy. Oh, they're all laughing. Hey, G Mama, you know, we're always here for a good time. Hi, Danny. Nicole, please come in my garden. Nicole, hello. Will that fix bursitis? You know what? It can hurt. I don't know. It could hurt really bad. I don't know. Definitely check it out. Coconut oil, butter knife sounds like a fun evening for some. This was supposed to be about live question and answer, and we've gone like totally off topic with my gua sha. Yeah, totally off topic. Oh, should I tell the story of this song? So we're at work today, and I have this song stuck in my head, so I keep kind of humming it, right? And now I can't even think what the song is. Oh yeah, it's the Shakira, right? It's like na 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 na. And I'm just like, it's kind of humming in my head. And my husband's like, what are you humming? I'm like, what? So it's a song, Shakira song. And he goes, I thought it was Elmo's song. But you know what he said it? It's the same. It's very similar at the beginning, right? Yeah. There we go. See, it is a good detox. It helps squish all this stuff that gets stuck out of your muscles and tendons and tissues and fascia and all that. Yes. Goodbye. Have a lovely evening. Bye, chicken. Have a great weekend. Hope you guys can all start. I love that song now. Yeah. So then, but it's like Elmo's World. It's like na 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 Elmo's World, right? And it's like da da da. It's very similar, that one opening line. So then, of course, I had Elmo's song stuck in my head the rest of the day. So I wonder if Sesame Street's gonna sue Shakira for stealing the first few lines of Elmo's song. But anyway, so yeah, that's my song reference for the day. So does anyone want to learn how to set up a live stream? Are we gonna do that? Just when I think there's no such thing as TMI. Thank you, Nicole. Thank you. I think Shakira meets Elmo's World. I think that could be an amazing collaboration. Oh my gosh. Yeah, when he said that, I was just like, oh my God, no. Why would he be singing Elmo's World? Ay. Okay, so back on track, because I know Mayfield Ranch is here and they haven't done their own live. And I know Miss Nicole Smith Gardening hasn't done her own live too. So we are going to get back on track. Okay, so this is how you set up your own live. What you do is you log into StreamYard. You set up an account with StreamYard. That's free. And you come to this screen will pop up. I have this test one that I should probably just delete. I'm just going to delete it. I don't need this. I'm deleting the old one. Hopefully that doesn't delete the one I'm doing right now. No. Okay, so this is the one I'm doing right now. Okay, so next I want to create a broadcast. You will come in here, click create a broadcast, click. Now you can use a pre-recorded video. So it would be kind of like a premiere, but I'm going to click new broadcast. This screen always psychs me out because I'm always frustrated and think because it's not lit up very well. But this is giving me the option of joining with YouTube, and this is my YouTube account. On here, sometimes you'll have add a new destination. There can be Facebook, Twitch. There's other places you can stream to. I don't have it set up to go to the Facebook account as well. I think that's, you have to pay. Then you're just going to set up your live. You're going to put in your title, your description. Hey, if you want it to be public, unlisted, or private. I did do a private or an unlisted one when I was working with my friends for the MIG Grow Off, my team, Universal Gardeners. I did like a quick tutorial for them on how to do something. And so I just set it up as it was either private or unlisted. And then I just sent them all the link, and then I could just do a live with just those people. But for most of the time, you're going to want to do it public, and you can just create broadcasts like that. Boom. And you will go live, or you can schedule it for later. You schedule it down here, your times, and then you can upload a thumbnail. If you don't upload a thumbnail, it will use your, I think, the cover picture on your YouTube account. That's what it will choose. So then you're going to just say, I'm not going to schedule it for later. I'm going to say create broadcast. So it's going to be creating a new broadcast. Hopefully this doesn't mess anything up. I am entering a broadcast studio. Hope I don't. You know what, maybe this is not a great idea. So I'm just going to go as far as this. So what this is going to do is this is where you're going to test your microphone and your camera, and you can put your display name here, how you want it to say your name at the bottom of the screen. And then you're going to click enter studio. And, I am going to go back and I am going to actually, my camera is like right in the way. I can't. I'm going to edit this. I am going to schedule it for later so that I don't interrupt this live. So we're going to schedule it for 10:30 p.m. And then it says enter studio. So you can see what the studio is going to look like. Hopefully I don't lose you. If I do, I will come back. I will reconnect onto this one. So I'm going to enter the studio. And this is what it's going to look like, right? Okay. Don't even start with that sauce. I had that in my banned list of words for a while, and then I took it out. Okay, see now what I'm saying before. So if you get behind, all of a sudden you notice, okay, I've been doing this. I'm focusing on this. Now people in chat are over here chatting about something else. Stop what you're doing, address the chat, then go back to what you're doing. Because otherwise, by the time you get back to the chat and you start talking about this, everyone's going to be bored with that conversation because they'd already had that conversation 5 minutes ago. Okay, so yes, deep tissue massages. Yes, yes, yes. What? Stinky pee. See y'all later. Have a great evening, Harold. Hope you're still here and I get to say goodbye to you. Yes, it squishes out all the, yeah. Also, when you've been eating asparagus. Correct. I'm not even putting Danny's up on the screen. That's, no. Yeah, I do, but whatever. Okay. All right. So back to me. Okay. Back to the screen. You are sitting down here at this point. You are not in the screen. So if you click the go live button at this point, it's just gonna be black. So you have to add yourself to the stream, and oh my gosh, look at that. There's 2 of me. Yay. Aren't you lucky? So this is what it looks like behind the scenes. So over here is where the comments will show up. You can turn them on or off. This is where the comments will pop up into the screen here. Here's where you can add banners. So like this, I can add my email address if I want my email address to go across the bottom of the screen. Or if you have like live, join me Saturday night, you want it to go across, this is where you set up your banners. You can also do a private chat, which I don't think you can do on YouTube. So if I want to chat with someone, everyone in my studio, so that means guests that I have down here, I can live chat with them. If we're like doing something on the screen, I have like guests up here, I can just do a separate chat with just them, that the rest of the chat can't see. So here is just, like the standard 1 person on camera. You will switch to this layout when you can switch to this one when you have 2 people. This is a full screen. This makes them a little smaller. 3. This here is if you are, which is what I'm doing now, is if you are sharing a screen. You can have 2 people sharing the screen. You can share it full screen here, which is this one, or you can share it full screen with your picture kind of popped into the bottom. So I'll show you what that looks like on the live I'm actually doing. So I can't really do the ones with the people, but I'll show you this. So here you can have yourself big and the screen small, or you can pop yourself down to where you're just kind of floating on top of the screen, or you can switch it to, it's called cinema layout, and then you're not on there. Why am I still on there? Not supposed to be. Oh, you're just tiny. Okay. Super tiny. Wow. Okay. All right. And then if you need to control your microphone, you can adjust it here. Your camera, there are other settings here where if you need to change things, your virtual background, whatever, if you have a paid account, I believe. Here's the button to share your screen. You will click share screen, and then you can click the entire screen, which I don't know why you'd ever want to show your whole screen, or you can just click an individual window like this. So here's the chat, and I can, oh, I can't see the thing. All right, so then I can share the chat on the screen on here, right? You can also you can share video files that you pull up from your computer. You can also share an extra camera. So if you have like 2 different cameras going, you can share that on that. Or you can do a slide. So you can set up Google Slides. I did one. So I set up this Google slide a while ago with some of the pictures that I had done. And so you can just like slide them through like this, or I think you can get it to where it plays, but I can't remember. And then, yeah, you can adjust how big that is. And now I'm like, I'm in a tomato forest. Yeah. And then if you want to invite guests, this will pop up. You click this button with the invite, this pops up. So here is, you can just copy it to your clipboard. You can Gmail, email, or send it through Messenger, or you can just click the copy and then you can drop that link into your chat for your guests to come on up. Wow, you guys are mad. Oh, you guys are ganging up on me. I know. There's 2 of them. Yes, there's 2 of me. You're welcome. You're welcome, Kareen. Yes. Can we take a moment to also say Rochelle has wonderful live chat, man? Oh, thank you. I've been in live chats that are small and have been a supporter often. Then the host doesn't acknowledge you is rude. I'm so sorry. Yeah, you know what? Sometimes you get busy and that person will like make a comment and it scrolls past and you miss it, which is another great reason to have a couple mods in the chat, because your moderators kind of serve as a greeter. So let's say I'm sitting here talking and I'm showing you all this. I don't see someone come in. But I see, you know, Nicole and I see Danny say, hey, hi, Capone, how are you? And then I'm like, oh, Capone's coming. I didn't see the original comment, right? So, aw, thanks, Nicole's like my fangirl. Thank you. To me, it's a party, right? So I would never have a party at my house and have guests come in and not acknowledge them, and try to chat with them and make sure that, you know, they got a drink in their hand and they got plenty of food and they're enjoying what's going on. So I really do appreciate that. I do try to make sure that I, you know, reach out and talk to people. You know, some nights it can be really busy and it's just hard to keep up with everybody. Like some of these people have live streams that are like hundreds of people in it, and they don't even try to keep up with the live stream. I've seen, what is it? You Can't Eat the Grass. She'll have like 300 people in the chat. They're not all chatting, right? But there's usually a good 50, 60 people that are chatting. So she doesn't even try to read the chat. She does read through it though, because anytime I've kind of posted a goofy comment or whatever, Nicole's question. Oh gosh. You guys, you're gonna make me blush. You're gonna make pink sand on my face. Oh, thank you. Now I forgot what I was saying. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So like she'll just like comment, or she'll answer a comment that comes through, but she does not like she does not acknowledge everybody that comes in the chat. She just says, hey, thanks to everyone that's coming in. You just can't do it, right? Because she would just spend the whole time just reading comments and she wouldn't get her thing out. And when she does her lives, she is there for a purpose, right? Like she has an agenda and that's what she's talking about and that's what gets done. And the chat just kind of chats amongst themselves most of the time. She will address a few things here and there, right? So it just depends. Aw. You guys stop. I don't go to the ones with lots and lots of people. They look, yeah. Oh, thank you. I do appreciate that. Yeah, sometimes the big ones can be kind of fun. But sometimes you get lost in the shuffle, right? You'll make a comment or you say this and that, especially if you don't know people in there. And it's really hard to, you know, it's like a big party, you know, it's sometimes, right? I'm going to watch this video later. But I wanted to post a few. Yes, go right for it. Welcome in the Suburban Gardenista. She is the inspiration. Thank you so much for popping in. She is the inspiration behind this live. She sent me a message on Instagram and she was like, do you think you could do a live about going live? So hopefully I have answered some questions. I did go through the whole setup of how to set up your StreamYard account. And then just when you're ready to go, you click that blue button in the corner. It says go live. And then you can follow the comments along there. I found when I did YouTube, I just did YouTube straight up last week because when I was in the backyard and I thought, oh, on my touchpad, I'm like, oh, I'll just go straight through YouTube. The problem with that was I was full screen and I didn't know how to adjust it to smaller screen. I don't know if you can on YouTube. And the comments would come in and they would scroll up and then they would just scroll off. And I couldn't get them back. So I'm like trying to show, the blossoms on my crabapple tree and I go back and then the comments had disappeared and I couldn't catch them back. So that is what I like about using StreamYard on the touchpad as well, is that you can see your pictures on the top half and then the comments are on the bottom and they stay there and you can go through them and you can comment too. When you do a live, can you edit the video later or do you have to post it as is and right away? I have never edited later, but it automatically see, and that's the other thing is when I did the YouTube one straight through YouTube, it was processing. So it took hours, at least on my end, it took hours for it to process. So when I accidentally disconnected from the live, if anyone had been there watching it or anyone had come in and wanted to see it from the beginning, it was hours before YouTube had processed it. Whereas every time I've done StreamYard, it automatically just saves it and it's automatically there instantly. So through StreamYard, it will automatically be there. But like, let's say there's something you want to take out, you can just go. It's marked here. So let's see. I don't know. I've never done it. Let's try it. Let's try it live on camera. Why not? Okay, so we're gonna remove that. We're gonna go back to my. Okay, we're going to go back to my account on YouTube. Here we go. Doodaloo. And this is what I'm saying. No dead air, so keep talking. Do you find you always like to have them on? It's nice to have. It's nice to have on hand because, like Nicole, she can drop the link for you when you come in. I don't have to do it because sometimes your hands, your hands are busy. And yeah, like, especially if you get a lot more people in and you can get people that are kind of, if you get any spam or bots that come in, and I don't know why Nightbot's not here. I'll be honest. I logged into my Nightbot. I don't know. I'm in there now. So maybe we'll see if Nightbot, if I woke him up, because normally it can take about 5 minutes and then Nightbot will come into the channel. I appreciate you. Oh, thank you. You totally have me feeling included as a new content creator. It's been so awesome to make connections within this is the best community ever. The gardening homesteading community on YouTube is amazing. I've been involved in the gardening community on Facebook for years and it is brutal. Like, there are some nasty threads. There are people arguing and fighting. The sewing boards can be absolutely insane. Like, it is crazy what people will argue about. But the YouTube gardening community has been nothing but loving and caring and supportive. Like, Pam from Container Crops has a cooking channel, Cooking at Pam's Place. That is her main channel. She's got like 10,000 subscribers, I think, over there. But when she hangs out with the gardening group because she says the cooking channel, the cooking group, the comments there can get really nasty, right? Do you find that you always like, yeah. So it is nice to have it. Like, sometimes at the beginning, I didn't have them and then people are like, oh, you need to have a moderator. I'm like, all right. You always go through YouTube and it's available right away. You can also edit it, but I've never done. Okay. Hi, Suburban, and best ever. I don't know if that was me or not, but thank you. I'll take it. OMG. I have seen some of the most hateful comments, unbelievable what people will argue about. Okay, so here we are over on the dashboard. I'm going to go into content, previous lives, and we can edit that other one Oh, this is the one that's coming up at 10:30. Oh crap, I gotta delete that. Yeah, we're gonna go in right now and we're deleting that. I don't want anyone like getting excited. Nope, it's not happening. We are deleting that forever. Yeah. Yeah. 10:35. What a random time to start it. Yeah. That was my demo one. I forgot. Okay, so here's the quick live I did last week that Joe was making fun of. I don't know if you saw Garden State Gardener. Joe did a video saying, I'm Brampton Gardener. I'm doing a live about going live. It was pretty funny. I could show the video later if you guys want to see. If you haven't seen it, it's pretty funny. Okay, so here we can go into that video, which was terrible. I watched it later. Oh my God, the quality, it was cutting in and out, blah, 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 blah. Yep. So you can come in here and you can trim sections. You can blur sections. Keep in mind, I did blur a video because I think it was showing license plate or something, and I blurred it. And sometimes it can take a few hours for that to take effect. So if it's something you really, really need to have blurred, I can't even speak properly. Something that you really, really want I can't even say it now. Fuzzy. Then what you would do is you would come into here and you would change your. Can I make this bigger? I gotta make it bigger. Yeah. You would come in here and you would change your visibility from public. And then you could change it down to private. And then you can keep it as private until you get the editing done how you want it. Yes. But why would you? It was lovely. It was a little pig, nothing much. But yeah, if you wanted to, you could blur it, but it might not happen immediately. So that was an issue I had with mine. And so I just went in and I made the video private until, when I went and watched it, it was blurred, and then I changed it back to public. So, yeah, if something happens that you don't want people seeing or whatever, boom. Yeah. So, okay, let's cancel. I don't know what's going on with this. I'm just shutting the screen now. Okay. Yeah. So, and like I was saying before, like, listen, if you want to go live and you're awkward and you're nervous, just do it. Don't schedule it. Do a pop-up live right in the comments. Pop-up live, first live. People will come in because they want to be supportive. They want to help you, and they'll be much more understanding if you're stumbling around and trying to figure things out. And, exactly. And the other thing with that is, you know, if you're worried no one comes in or you make a mess of it, it's a terrible live, you're embarrassed, you do not want it on your channel, just delete it. Just delete it. Especially if no one comes in. If no one comes in, and that's your biggest fear, no one comes in and you're there and you're sitting there and you're chatting for half an hour or whatever, and like nobody came in, or maybe one person came in, and you don't want people to see that, you know, you might have a lot of subscribers and you might have a lot of views on your videos, and you don't want people to say, hey, I did a live, no one came in. They're gonna be like, I don't want to go next time. Just delete it. Just delete it. No one has to know, right? Oh, well, trying to type while putting a little one down is not easy. I've got the video on mute, so if I don't respond, or if I repeat a question, just ignore me. I wish I knew sign language. I do know some sign language, but that might not get me monetized. Just like making a video. Exactly. And I'll tell you right now, I feel lives are so much easier than a video. I will tell you why. When you are filming a video, you are talking into a camera. When you're doing a live, you're staring at yourself. It's like yourself in a mirror. It's like you're sitting there chatting with yourself in a mirror. And if you're really nervous, oh, this was my other big tip. If you're really nervous about going live for the first time, join someone else's live. Go on their live, and then all of the onus is on them. If the live sucks, it's their fault. You get your feet wet, you get a little taste of it, it builds your confidence. Go on lives, go on as many lives as you want. I remember Slava was nervous about going on our live, so I said, you know what? I'll come on up on my live. You know, we'll do it. Come Thursday night, come up on my live. She's like, okay, I don't know. She was so nervous about it. So I said, just do it. Come Thursday night. I think this was like a Monday. Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, I'm going into other people's live chat. There's Slava. She's popping up on the screen. When she decided she wanted to do it, she was just like, I'm just going to do it. Someone dropped the link. She's just, I'm just going to do it. And now she's on people's lives all the time. I don't know if she's done her own live, but she's on other people's lives and she's very comfortable about it. Or if you want to do your live, you want it on your channel because you want the views, you want the watch hours. invite a guest. So that's why a lot of times you'll see people have guests or they will be interviewing people, because it is 10 times easier to carry on a conversation with another person. As nice as it is, and the feedback from the live chat, you start reading it and all of that, it really does help. But if you have someone else up on the camera, up on the screen, and they are chatting, it just makes it so much easier. The conversation flows, and you're literally having to do, if you have one person up there, you have to do half the work. You got two people up there, you got to do a third of the work, right? And so it makes it so much easier. So, I am thinking of doing an interview, but I'm thinking the engagement shout outs to the audience will be distracting, but not sure what people expect. Well, I mean, it depends. Like, do you want it to be formal? Do you want it to be like a news, interview where it's like super formal and professional and you just kind of ignore the chat? Or do you want to, have it be more like you're sitting around like a party and you're talking out loud or whatever? The Ann Lynn show has changed their format from doing live interviews. They interview someone beforehand, and then they air it as a premiere with them and their guest in the chat. So that's kind of an interesting way they can keep totally focused on their interview. And so they're not distracted during the interview and the questions by the chat, but they're airing it and watching it with the chat so they can then comment on the chat while they're viewing it, right? So you could do that. If you wanted to do that and you have an interview, you could simply come down here and go share screen, and you could share that video file. Let's see if I have one quick here. So you could literally share the video file, like this is your interview you're doing. Okay. And then if people in the chat ask questions or comment, you just hit pause and you address the chat so that you haven't really interrupted the flow of the interview, because that was already done ahead of time. But you can keep the feel of it and keep everyone engaged in it by answering their questions live. Yeah. Or just do it straight up as a premiere. If you want like your face to be on here, and you get, then you can kind of drag it out longer. If it's a premiere, it's only going to be like that 20 minutes or 30 minutes. If you do it as a live, you can pause it and you can spread it out and you can make it as long as you want. Here's a question related to going live, but not exactly live. What are your feelings on premieres? I'm starting to think that I'm not going to do them anymore unless it's like a big video. My feelings on premieres are, most of the time, it increases my viewership in the first 24 hours by probably a good 30%. I feel it is valuable to my views, to my channel. I don't want to do it on every video though, because I want people to not to feel hostage. Like you come in, and that's another reason why I will not do a premiere unless it's like a really big exciting video that's like longer than, I don't know, 12 15 minutes max. Like I do not want people coming into premiere, because you don't know how long the premiere is a lot of times, and then feeling like they're being held hostage. I had that happen to me once. I was late, I was tired, I just popped in to say hi, and I was like, there were two people in the chat, including me, and I felt bad leaving, and I stayed, and it ended up being 30 minutes of a premiere of a video that I hadn't even really wanted to watch in the first place, because it was a completely different genre than what I do. And I was like, ugh! But I couldn't leave because it'd be super obvious that I left, and I had to keep kind of talking and oh, I'm still here. And it was late at night and I was tired and I was like, oh my God. So my premieres will never be that long unless I will put in the title, if it's going to be super long, I'll be like, this is a super long premiere. Don't feel like you have to stay the whole time. So yeah, every once in a while I will do a longer video that might be close to 20 minutes. And at that point, like I'll just do that as a regular video, because then it's like, you can decide when you want to watch it, when you have the time, right? So that's how I feel about premieres. I do think they're valuable. I do think they help get those immediate views. Like in that first hour, it pushes that out, and people, like if they've clicked the premiere button, like remind me, they're more likely to watch it. But I don't think every video needs to be a premiere, right? Like a big deal video type of thing, almost like special event. Yeah. For me, sometimes if it's something like I I want to explain it more in the video, or I think people might have questions while they're watching it. So I want to do a premiere of it while I'm showing it, so I can answer any questions. Hey, welcome in, Carpenter Self-Reliance. Thank you so much for coming. I haven't really used premieres. I'm not sure the value of them. Yeah, so they allow you to interact with your channel, especially if you've done like a collab video with somebody else. Then if you're both in the chat with the collab, you can kind of chat while you're doing it. That's really fun. You can drop links while people are commenting on something that you know, it might be hard to, you can't really drop a link in your video. You can be like, I'll put the link down in the description below. But if it's something that's kind of heavy, link heavy, like let's say you're doing some like Amazon reviews or something and you want to drop the links for that, and if you do them in a Premiere, you can drop the links easily in that. I think it just depends on the content. It depends on your viewers, and as long as you don't abuse it, don't hold people hostage, don't make a super long premiere, and don't do them too often. But I do like them, and I'm more inclined to go in and watch a premiere. The other thing is don't, and I made this mistake last week, don't do a premiere of a video where the primary part of the video is at the very beginning. So I did the reveal of my Coleus seedlings, and so I showed them at the rooting right at the beginning of the video. And then I did a grow room tour. But anyone that came in and wanted to see those seedlings in the premiere missed that part, and so they watched the rest. Now, they might not go back and watch that. So if I had just done it as a regular video, everyone that clicked on it would have seen the roots that came off of that video. So afterwards I thought, this was a bad call for a video. And sometimes there's videos that I had to edit so much, and I'm so frustrated with it that I was like, yeah, there's no way on earth I don't want to watch this video again, because for some reason I don't want to have to watch it again. So I am not premiering it, because I'm not going to sit through it. And not that it's like, I would never put out a video that's that bad, but just sometimes you've spent so much time like editing things out or fiddling with it, or the sound was wrong or the lighting was wrong, just something was really frustrating with a video, and you were so done with it and you upload it and you're like, yeah, I'm done. I don't want to see this again. Right? I think that happens to all of us, right? The caged chat syndrome. We've all been there, I think. And if there's like a lot of people in a premiere, you can just leave. No one knows, you know, the number goes down by 1 or whatever. Nobody knows who it was. You just slip on out, no problem. But when there's like 1 or 2 people in there and you've chatted, and then suddenly you're not chatting, it's really obvious that you zipped out, especially if it's someone that, you know, supports a lot of your videos and your chats, which that person had been. I was like, I haven't actually seen them in a very long time. They're not in this chat. Do not be offended. Yeah. Be more selective about the premiere. It's just something, if you want to interact. Like for me, I wanted to do the premiere for my collab, right? So my new for 22 collab, I wanted to make sure that I premiered that so that I could promote it, you know, while I was talking. I could drop the hashtag in the chat. If anyone had any questions on it, I could answer those questions live right in the chat and try to get, you know, kind of get a buzz to get as many people involved in doing it as I could. So that was one of the reasons why I did that, right? So then, like, yeah, you're doing your interview, and then now, you know, you can move on and then, you know, go back to playing your video. That's why I'm like, why is that still on the screen? So no, remove from screen. Stop sharing. There we go. And nope. Stop sharing. This is not working. Okay, and then I just accidentally unsubscribed myself. I took myself off the screen, which means you wouldn't be able to see or hear me. So, oops, don't do that. So I want to remove that. There we go. Now I'm back. Okay. Welcome in, Cape Cod Life. Hey, how are you? Speaking of my collab, make sure you go check out Cape Cod Life. He did an excellent video for the new for 22. And he did a great job remembering the hashtag. When I did my video, I had to edit out so many times I kept saying it wrong. So new for 22 is the hashtag. Check it out. We have a handful of people in there that have done videos already. I would love to see more people join the collab. I know it's a really busy time. It's not the best time to be doing collabs. It's super busy, but it is what it is. Okay, so now we are catching up with the chat. Don't let it fall behind too far. Pause what you're doing. Pause what you're talking about. And like, if you're like me and you have a bad memory, you can keep like a little notepad. What was I talking about? I'm talking about this, but I'm going to pause and address the chat. Check out this channel. Thank you so much for dropping the channel links. Okay, Davis, apparently I'm not familiar with premieres and what you can do. Are you suggesting doing a video ahead of time and then as it's in Premiere, engage with the audience? Yes. So a Premiere is basically just like this, but instead of me sitting here talking live, you're watching a video, but it's a live chat. So if you're not sure how Premiere works, join a Premiere. So I usually my main video is on a Sunday. That's the video that I, try to put out, like my good video for the week. And then I'll do 2 smaller ones during the week. Or if I have a longer video, it'll go out during the week. I try to get my video out Sunday morning, and I usually do a premiere. But not always. Sometimes I'm just tired and I don't want to, I'm just tired. It's like, or I'm busy. I got to go do something else. Yeah. So there's no rhyme or rule. You don't have to do it. But next time you have, hey, Devil Dog, welcome in. Next time you have, you see a premiere come up on your channel, join it. Go in the premiere and see how it works. Or the best way to learn about how to do one is just do it. Just do it. And if you do a premiere and it sucks and no one's there to watch it, delete it and re-release the movie, or do a premiere at a different time. No one will know. Yeah. You do. Get on it. Get on it, Danny. We want to see what's new for... Oh my God. That video could be like an hour. She's got so much new going on. Yeah, anytime. And if you have any questions, if anyone has any questions, like you don't want to ask in the chat, you're too embarrassed or whatever, feel free to email me at... oh, I think I can drop it, right? I can add it. Yeah, I can show at bramptongardner@gmail.com, or over on Instagram. I am Brampton_Gardner on Instagram. So you can go and send me a message on that as well, or send me an email, or drop it in the comments below. But yeah, if there's something kind of you don't want to really ask in front of everybody. Devil Dog, welcome in. It's nice to see you. How are you doing this evening? They're all saying hello. Yay! Glad to hear it. That will be exciting. I need to do too. Yes, you do. You have those new beds that you did, and that corn. Like, what's going on with corn? Like, some of the corn is enormous. Some of it's so tiny. I don't understand. You could have been emailing me this whole time. You could have let the whole stinky pea comment be an email. Just for next time. Oh, is it the accent? It's the American Canadian accent. I think that's what it is. Oh gosh, that's funny. You'll just have to start listening to my videos and try to impersonate me. There you go. Like Joe, right? Like we don't say, well, I know. Yeah, we message back and forth all the time. Oh, I forgot. I told you I was going to show you Joe's video. It was funny. So he's been doing, like, he did the whole jib jab thing for a while. If you don't follow Garden State Gardener, you should, because he is planting like 300 varieties of tomatoes or something absolutely insane like that. Like, crazy. But he also does seed giveaways and other giveaways every Sunday night. You think I could spell garden? Yeah, every Sunday night he does giveaways, and Monday nights he does pierogi Mondays, and he does giveaways on that as well. So you can win seeds. I've won quite a few actually. A lot of my dwarf tomatoes were from him. And he does amazing seed giveaways, and he really loves to help promote other people's channels. So he was doing that by doing a bunch of jib jabs, and you know, like if it's someone's birthday or whatever, he'll do a video. But then he did this one. Okay, hold on. Oh wait, I don't know how to pause it. Okay, so here. Oh my God, I'm laughing just looking at the picture. Oh, Joe. Oh my God, this is so funny. Okay, so apparently this is my wig. This is how I look. Okay, so hopefully we can hear him. I will reboot or reload it.
going live. Yes, you heard it right. This Thursday, I'm going live. Talk about what to do during a live. Love you guys. Bye.
Joe! Oh my god, that's so funny. I love it. I was laughing so hard. I was like, because I saw it all of a sudden. I was like, I'm Brampton Garden. I was like, oh no, what is he doing now? Oh my gosh, that was so funny. Oh, Joe, he's a nut. Yeah. Your corn is ready. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, your corn's all over the place. 17 varieties is a lot. I'm afraid to count mine. I actually did a video inventory. I went through and I counted each variety. So I said, I have Brandywine, and I counted how many I have, and I have it on the video, but I have it, yeah, the hair, like the purple tips. But yeah, I haven't like actually added it all up. I haven't put it on my chart yet, and I haven't figured out how many varieties I'm doing, but there's a lot. There's a lot. I'm doing like 5 varieties of dwarf tomatoes alone. So I potted up it during Danny's live, my regular tomatoes. Yeah. He sounds more like Andale. Yeah, I'm not that sweet. We really like tomatoes. We eat a lot of tomatoes. Actually, I don't know if you saw, oh, let me see. Oh, I can pull it up on my Instagram. So my MIG grow off bag that I had done, I grew 2 Tasmanian chocolate dwarf tomatoes. And I made the mistake of thinking dwarf tomatoes were like Tiny Tim's. Tiny Tim's is a dwarf tomato. It only gets like this tall, and it has tons of blossoms and tons of fruit on it, but it's really tiny. No, that's a micro dwarf tomato. Tiny Tim is a micro dwarf tomato. Regular dwarf tomatoes can be anywhere from up to like 4 feet tall, which I did not know. And I have this 2 tomato plants in my DIY grow bag in my living room that are like 3 feet high and wide. And I have them propped up with these like giant, wooden skewers, and they're starting to fall. So it's leaning against the speaker and the TV, and I'm afraid to mess with it too much because I don't want to break any branches. I do not have any room in the greenhouse to put it in right now. So I can't start hardening it off yet. I don't know what I'm going to do with this. I don't really want to transplant them because I don't want to disturb the roots. They're such big plants. So what I'm thinking of doing is I'm going to take the village out that I have in there. I have like the little, fairy village. I'll pull that out, and then I'm going to take it into the garden, and then I might just cut the bottom of the grow bag like a big X, and then the roots can stay in the grow bag, but then the roots can go down and do what they want, and then that will give me the ability to put like a nice big tomato cage over both of them, and hopefully not break any branches or anything like that. But because I started it in January, this thing's putting out tomatoes. So I am going to show. Oh yeah. Look at that juicy deliciousness. Oh, wrong way. I thought there were more pictures in that. Nope. All right. Okay. All the pictures that I posted were on Facebook then. I posted the pictures, more pictures on Facebook. So there was the tomato. Actually, you know what? I did have them on here. Here's a picture of it from the week before. And I do have it there. There we go. So there it's sitting in, and then this was the grow bag here. My cilantro is not doing great. I have pruned it way back though. I made some salsa with it. So yeah, the fairy garden's going to get taken apart, and then, but it was delicious. Like, I made some BLTs on these nice buns. Oh my gosh. It was so good. We had it for dinner last night, and we were just like, oh my God, this is delicious. This is delicious. So here, I'm going to drop the link here. If you're not following me on Instagram, here we go. Can we talk about RVs and really? Really? Yes, we can. which is awkward now because I never realized how many pineapple and flamingo items I wear on a regular basis. Let's not scare away the chat. Oh, it's all right. Like, I don't think we can scare them anymore after the way this chat's been going, right? So if you are here for information on how to do a live, I apologize. But honestly, I don't know. I think this is what I enjoy when I go to a live. You know, some people, they keep it very scripted, and that is a style, and that is their style, and that is great if that's your style and that's how you want it to be. If you want your channel to be more informational and you have this information you want to get out and you kind of address the chat slightly like that, then, you know, do it that way. I am much more casual, and I like to just hang out and have fun, and I'll go off on a tangent. Someone brings that, I try to bring it back to the topic I was talking about, but you know what? There's no rules. I'm just here to enjoy myself and to have fun, right? So, and I trust me, there's no way we can scare Corrine. I've seen her chats. She's safe. Hopefully the rest of y'all are here. My style is totally off. That's why we get along so well. Totally off script. So yeah, okay. So apparently I wish Jesse was in the chat because I would warn him. So apparently Nicole, discovered this recently. She sent me this message. She's like, I had no idea, but apparently in the RV world, flamingos, like you have a few pink flamingos, with your decor outside, and pineapple, but they kept saying pineapple was upside down. So if you have an upside down pineapple, it means you're swingers. So yeah, that's interesting. So, and then in the comments section, it said, yeah, or flamingo. So I would like to be very, but I think it's only, yeah, upside down pineapple. I think it's only in RV parks. It is not in gardens. Okay. So I have flamingos in my garden. I wear a lot of pineapples and flamingo clothing, but that does not mean that at all. Okay. Okay. I should warn Renee, RB Garden Nanny, because she has a whole pineapple garden. I should tell her, make sure none of your pineapples are upside down, because you could be getting some interesting... Oh, I gotta take this banner off. You could get some interesting comments if you have one of your pineapples upside down, right? Our lives are like a train wreck, and well, I think that's what makes it fun. And so I think, you know, it depends on why you join people's lives. If you're there for information, if you're there to learn, if you're there for, you know, certain subject matter, or are you there for, you know, socializing? And hopefully, you know, you can do both. Hopefully you take something home, from the live Q&A of going live. Hopefully you've learned a few things. And if there's something I'm doing that, bothers you or annoys you, write it down. Be like, do not do this during your live. This is super annoying. Don't do this. Don't do that. You know, whatever. And aw, thank y'all. So yes, I will just make sure when I do any sewing or anything like that, that the pineapples are always going the right direction. Cause, yeah, that could be interesting. And that could be problematic. So, yeah, that was funny. I was like, oh my gosh. And it's like, she showed me that right after I had done the, if you want information to learn anything, do not join our lives. If you want to learn how to be funny, your lives are hilarious. The problem for me sometimes joining your lives is that it's a Sunday night, and sometimes by Sunday night I am beat and I am ready for bed, and then I go to bed too late. So what is StreamYard? Okay, so StreamYard is a hosting platform. So instead of going simply through YouTube, you go to StreamYard to host it. So I'll go back over. I'm going to pop back out of the live that I've already scheduled. And then I deleted it. I don't know if it'll let me go back in there. We shall see. Okay, so here is what StreamYard looks like. You come up onto the screen when you make your account. You have all of your past streams are here. And you have upcoming streams are here. And then you can create a broadcast. So like I was saying before, you can use a pre-recorded video, which would kind of turn it into a premiere. But instead of like a premiere where you're just in the chat talking, you would actually be on the screen and you can talk while you're watching it. So you would click new broadcast, you would click YouTube. If you want to add, you can add Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Twitch, anything like that as well that you can go to. I only use YouTube. And then you would just set up your live here. So you would set up your title, your description, public, unlisted, private, And then you can schedule it for later, and then you can add a thumbnail. So you can't add a thumbnail if you go live. That's another thing. If you go live, like just right away, you can't add a thumbnail, and it will just grab your cover picture from your channel. So then when you go into the studio, it will look like this. This might not load because I made one earlier and then I deleted it. So we shall see if it will let me in. So this is the next screen that's going to come up. This is the same screen that you basically will see if you've joined someone's live. So if you've ever hit the link or someone sent you the link to join their live, this is the screen you will see. You can double check your microphone, see if it's going up and down, make sure you can see yourself on the camera, and you can choose what name you want to show on the screen here. There are, more settings here if you want to change what camera you're using and all of that, and then you will enter studio. Okay, so this is what I'm actually looking at. Looks a replica of this. It's just without all the chat. I guess I could share here. Let me try this. I'm going to share the whole. Remember I said, why would you ever want to share your entire screen? Well, I'm going to do it right now so you can see. It's not going to let me. Share. There we go. So this is what this live looks like right now. So I'm going to pop it up. Oh, that's... Oh, what the heck? Do not do full screen. Wow, that was... I'm sorry about that. That was super creepy, right? I joined your live to help me make it to the weekend. Aw, thank you. If you want, that's so nice. Okay, so it's this hosting platform, right? So this is StreamYard. People use this because you can invite up guests. You can go live sooner than you can on YouTube. I have a GoPro that I want to try and go live on my GoPro. I'm not allowed to do that until I'm at 1,000 subscribers. Through YouTube. YouTube, you're not allowed to go, you have to be like on a desktop or a laptop until a certain number of subscribers. I can't remember. I think they've changed it since when I started. I think it was 100 when I first started. But if you go through StreamYard, you can just do it right away. And StreamYard has all these other things, like you can click on comments and they will pop up on the screen. I don't think you can do that through YouTube. I actually don't think I've actually gone live on the desktop through just YouTube. I should try that. Just do a quick live that way and just see what the differences are. But I don't know. But this has a lot of features. You can come up here. You can click your banners. I will try and make... Okay, I don't need this one anymore. We're going to just shrink that down. Okay, and then... Oh, that's my extra... This is the controls for my camera. Are down there. We don't need that. Like, I don't know why as soon as I enlarge it, it starts doing this weird, like, extra view thing. That's just so weird. I don't know why it's doing that. And now I don't know why it's all the way over here. Oh, because it's just on that side of the screen. That's super weird. Okay. Yeah, sorry about that. But this is what it looks like on my screen. So here I have the chat coming in on the side, and this is where I can click on things like to show up onto the screen. I can set my banner to go across. I have 3 sample banners. I can show this one. I do my email. You can have it like a ticker style that does anything. You can do a private chat. You can go in here and change up your colors if you want. And then this is what YouTube chat looks like. So I usually keep YouTube chat separate over here because sometimes they come in faster than the others. But oh, Lashana is forcing me to tell you that today was her sports day at school, but she couldn't get to go. Oh, she scares me. Why does she scare you? Why does she scare you? She is so cute. Lashana is her daughter, if anyone is wondering. She is so cute. How is she doing? She's forcing me to tell you that today was her sports day at school, but she couldn't get to. That's too bad. She scares you at sports? She too rough? She's wild? So do you have any other questions? Any other questions while I'm here? So I was saying before, like, here are your settings. Oh, I gotta get my banner off there. Boop. So here are the settings for your, like, your microphone, camera. Here's where you share the screen like I'm doing right now. You can share... Oh. We're going to go back to the window. Is it going to work that way? Okay, maybe this is better. Now, can I enlarge it without it being weird? Okay, now I can enlarge it without it going weird. Awesome. Okay. Nope, it's going weird. Why does it do that? Why does it do that? That's so weird. Okay. Yeah, so in this share, oh, I gotta share it again. Let's go back to just the window. Try that. So here when we're sharing the screen here, there are the different settings. You can have yourself, you can have the whole thing. Yourself is tiny in the corner. You can have yourself to the side. You can have it bigger like this. If you have other guests, you can arrange how you all are, or you can be all the way out like this. Here we have the comments. This is the share button. If you want to share the videos, you can share a video file. So if you have a file on your computer, let's say you have a video that you want to share, you can do it like that. You have an extra camera that you can set up. That's new. Scott's done that a few times, I think. Rambling with the Brums, he has set up an extra camera, like showing outside, or I can't remember where he did it, but he had set up 2 cameras. Or you can use a slide. So if you have a slideshow through Google Slides, or you can upload a slideshow from your computer, and then you can share it on your screen as well. And then you have this lovely little invite section over here. So you click copy to clipboard. Here is the link that you can drop into your chat, or you can send in a Gmail, email, or a messenger. Or you can private message. I think the private chat, though, is mainly for guests that you have on the screen. Thank you very much. If you have any more questions, like I was saying at the beginning, Mr. Boots and Bounty has an excellent, I think it's Wednesday night. He does a help desk where he gives tips and tricks and really helps with more of the technical side, like setting up Nightbot and the codes and stuff like that. He has a lot of really great tips for that. And Pam at Container Crops on Wednesday nights as well. Hers is later though. I think it's 7. She does a lot of videos on how-tos. So YouTube, like she scours the internet and she reads all the new information that comes out that YouTube releases. And so she puts together, like, she'll tell you, oh, there's this new feature that you want to learn about, or this happens, or don't do this. She's got a lot of, not just for going live, but like for your channel, for videos on your channel as well. So there we go. Hey, Nicole, I'm getting in listening bow. Got to put the, oh, yes, we do not want the doggies to miss their dinner and get ready for bed. No problem, Nicole. I probably won't be on here too much longer. I'm almost at 2 hours. Wow, that went fast. That went really fast. 9:30. I'm probably going to call it a night. Tomorrow is going to be hot. We're supposed to be, and by hot, like, okay, this is like Canadian May hot. So tomorrow's gonna be hot. It's gonna be 85 and humid. So not looking forward to that. We're expecting thunderstorms all weekend. And so that kind of stinks because this is our big long weekend here in Canada. It is the Victoria Day long weekend, otherwise known as the 2-4 or May 2-4 weekend. Monday is Queen Victoria's birthday. And so it is like our, you guys have Memorial Day the weekend after, but that is like, it's our day off. It's a bank holiday. Nope. I don't think it's a bank holiday. I think everyone gets it off. And fireworks, which means, so here in Brampton, we are allowed fireworks legally 4 times a year. Victoria Day, Canada Day, Diwali, and New Year's. So since it's getting close to Victoria Day, that means that for the past week, we've been having fireworks going off. Because people of Brampton love fireworks like I have never seen before. There are always fireworks going off. It drives me nuts. I don't mind fireworks, but I don't need fireworks at 10 p.m. on a Tuesday, right? Just randomly. Lishana says no parents get to go. Oh, so the parents don't get to go. You don't get, I see. Okay. Oh, well. You can tell them all about it and you can embellish how well you did because they won't be there to know that it wasn't true. No. Did I just say that? Don't lie to your parents. No, that's bad. 95 to 100. Oh, wow. Yes, it's going to be humid. Don't worry. I will be. She typed that message in the 3rd person. Creepy. Oh gosh, you're so funny. Yeah, I'll send you an update. I don't know how humid it's going to be, but it's going to be humid. It'll be humid for us. So no gardening will be done because hot. Yeah. So tomorrow I will be up there and I will go and water everything early. Oh, so tonight it's kind of scary, but it's kind of exciting. So tonight, all of my seedlings that are out in the greenhouse, except for the tray that I just brought out that was in my Instagram video that I did today, they're staying outside. I'm leaving them out overnight. So let's hope the bunnies don't decide to have a midnight snack, because everything is out except for the one tray is still in the greenhouse. But I left the door up on the greenhouse. I turned off the heater so it doesn't actually come on in. But I think our low tonight is going to be 55, 54. And that's at 5 in the morning. And then it goes back up. So I figure, you know what? These guys got to start getting used to it. So I left them out. The only issue I do have with leaving my plants outside for extended periods of time is that when you do them in the soil blocks, this is like the only negative of soil blocks. When you do them in soil blocks, you have them in a tray that doesn't drain. So if it's outside and you're using the hose or it's raining, you have to make sure that your trays are on a bit of an angle so that they can kind of, excess water can drain out. So I have them all kind of on an angle, so it's not a problem, but that's just something to keep in mind. Also keep in mind, if you're using a lot of like the styrofoam trays, the wind will pick them up and blow them around. So I have my poor little tray that has Gomphrena and Lobelia, and that thing has flown across the yard I don't know how many times. They stay together though, the 20 soil blocks, you know, so it's like Lobelia's here and Gomphrina's there. Pick them up, put them back in the tray. They've been fine so far. But I should probably put them like kind of the ones with the styrofoam, I should put them in a bin. And I didn't. And they're sitting out on the hill tonight on a tray up on a pot. So if it gets windy or stormy, I might be out in the morning searching for my seedlings in the grass, but hopefully it's okay. Most of this stuff I have, it's up on my pots because I filled my pots with soil. That video will be coming when it comes. And they're waiting. I really haven't planted anything that's staying outside yet because we are dipping down. We're getting temps. I can't remember if it's Sunday night or Monday night. We're dropping back down to like 41 or 43 for a night. And I don't know, like, I don't trust it. So I'm probably going to wait on super sensitive stuff. I probably won't be planting out my peppers until the end of the month anyways. But they're small, like they're not taking up too much room, right? So it's scary. Tomorrow, she's not going for spelling. That's all right. I don't worry about spelling. It's all right. It's all right. We get triple digits here, but not until, yeah, we do. Yeah. We get really humid here in Ontario, which I was surprised when I moved here. I wasn't expecting that, but yeah, we can get really humid here. It's sticky, gross. Oh, and we can get up into the hundreds. We're more likely to be kind of like in the mid to high 90s, but last year, yeah, we were really hot for like 3 weeks in June, like crazy hot. And then we had like 3 weeks of rain. And then my tomatoes got blight. So the weather is all over the place. We are like, some of my plants outside, like my bulbs, my peonies, everything, they're like a month behind like our regular springtime. It's been so slow. So help. She's typing on my laptop. She's so bossy. Who does she take after? Who does she take after in the bossiness? Do 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 do. Yeah. Last year I planned. So the traditional day in like Canada is the May 2-4 weekend. So that's the weekend this weekend. That is like the traditional day that everyone's like, it's safe to plant out. And so we planted out last last year. And then we got snow May 28th. It wasn't a lot. It came down, like it was enough to leave like a light dusting. Everything was planted out. I had my trays out there with seedlings and stuff. I just wasn't expecting it. I had like 2 or 3 loofah and my cucamelons. They did not make it. Everything else made it. Probably was slightly stunted, but everything else did make it. But yeah. And my peppers are tiny. Even with the heat of the greenhouse, they're really tiny. So I'm kind of nervous about putting them out. Like, I think they'll be better. Like, I think probably by next week we'll take the greenhouse down because we won't need it anymore once everything's hardened off. Most of my like tomatoes and everything will be growing in pots of some kind. So if I had to cover them or bring them in, I could. But the peppers, like I can just keep them. I might even just use like a clear bin to put over and make like a cold frame type idea just to kind of help them along. I say that now, but honestly, I don't know. I might just be like, screw it. And Saturday I plant all my stuff. I'm very impetuous, so it just happens when it happens, right? Like best laid plans. If we get snow in May, it's basically the coming of Christ. Yes, if you don't know, Miss Nicole is in Texas. She's down near Houston, so yeah, lots of heat down there. We had a unexpected frost. It was forecast to be low 40s. Ended up being, ooh, yeah. See, that's the thing, is you just never know. And like you can be in a bit of a microclimate too, right? So where we're at is we're located right on the border of Brampton. And then the next kind of town over, the next section over next to us is Georgetown. And they're in a different zone. And their last frost date is like 2 weeks later than ours. But there's the Niagara escarpment that goes kind of between us. So even though we're very close by, we get quite different weather from them. And then, but we are a bit cooler than like the rest of Brampton because of where we're at. So, like our forecast for, the weather is at Toronto Pearson Airport, which is in Brampton, but it's, probably, I don't know how many kilometers away it is. It takes you about a half an hour to drive there, up and around or whatever. But, as the crow flies, it's probably about 20 minutes. So, Georgetown is actually closer, their weather station, but it's always a lot colder than where we are here. So it's kind of hard to tell, right? So Dexter is fine. I have a video coming. Oh my goodness. He was a monster yesterday while I was out planting. I don't know if you follow me on Instagram. It was in my stories, I think. He took my shoe, was running through the house with my shoe. He took my claw digger thing, and I had to chase him through the yard with that. I do not have that on video, but I did get the video where he picks up my trowel, and then it covers his face, and then he can't run away. He can't do anything because his face is covered with the trowel. It was hilarious. I got it on video, so that video will be coming up. Also the one where I'm like dividing my hibiscus, and he decided to try and play tug of war with the rootstocks. So that was fun too. So there'll be a few naughty Dexter videos coming with some outtakes coming soon. So keep an eye on that. I'll try and get that edited probably for Sunday, because it was hilarious. Like I was dying. I was like, oh my gosh, what a brat. Well, see, we've had it in the 80s. Do you mean at night? Because our lows, like we were like tonight, our low is only going to be 54, like I said. But then it's dropping down again to the 40s. But by I think mid next week, we should be up in the 50s higher at night. Okay, yeah. For that, yeah, I know. I'm thinking beginning of June maybe. It's frustrating to have stuff left undone, especially because I do my peppers in pots, and I really don't know, like I decide how many peppers I want to plant when I do it. Nothing's really planned out. I just kind of like pull a pot and say, what am I sticking in here? Oh, let's do these. And then kind of like whatever I have left over, then I give away, or I do a bit of a seedling sale or whatever. So I don't know. Yeah. So I plan on waiting on the peppers, but I can't guarantee that I will. Liz Shauna is petting me as a kitty cat. Oh, meow. Very nice. If you know me, you know I don't use words like kitty cat. Send help. Isn't it bedtime? I think it's bedtime, Lashana. No? You probably got worn out from your sports day today. Maybe you need to go to bed. Oh my God, if we could get below 73 degrees at night, I would be in heaven. That's hilarious. That's just, yeah, that's crazy. The difference in the climate and the weather. Okay. So this came up, on my friend's memories today. So I have a friend, and her daughter went through this phase where she was a kitty cat, and she like literally they would have to act like she was a kitty cat and treat her like a kitty cat. And so this memory came up in the comments, and it was her daughter saying, when I was born, did you say, oh, look at this cute little baby kitty cat? And her reply was like, no, we did not. I was laughing always. Oh my God, she went through this kitty cat phase. Sydney never went through like one of those phases where they pretended to be a cat or a dog or whatever, but I've seen people, you know, I've heard of stories of other people's kids that do that. I think that's hilarious. It is 100 here, but at least it cools off at night. Still in Northern California. Right. Yes. That's the thing. Is like I grew up in the Pacific Northwest. I grew up in Oregon, in Salem. And even if it was 100 degrees during the day, it could be blistering hot during the day. It's still cooled off at night. And I think that makes a difference too with a lot of the plants, the zoning and stuff on the plants as well. Some of the plants, like for heat, right? Because I think that's what Laura at Garden Answer was saying. Like some plants, like people in the South, they're like, I cannot grow that plant. How can you grow that plant when you have the same daytime temperatures as I do? And it's because they go lower in the evening, and so it gives the plants time to help and to repair, right? Yeah. Oh no. Time for bed, Lashana. Let's see if she'll listen to me. Oh no. Yeah. It's too hot to go to bed, right? Your son had an imaginary friend that was an alligator. Oh my gosh, that's funny. That's funny. My daughter used to love, there was a story of, I can't remember the name of it. There was this children's story about this alligator, and he loved to dance. And so him and the boy would put on an album and they would dance to this record. And then he got in trouble, like they weren't supposed to be there. And so he went and he hid in the toilet, and he got stuck down in the sewer. And then the bad guy, the police are after, they're trying to find this alligator. It's not supposed to be there. And so the little boy plays his favorite song on the record player, and the sound goes through the pipes, and the alligator can hear it and find his way back to their home. So, I would close the toilet seats after reading that story. It's a very cute story. It's very well written. The pictures are funny. My daughter loved it, but it's just like, it always made you stop and think about what could possibly come up out of the toilets at night. I doubt it's going to be an alligator. We also have had a few alligator sightings here in Brampton, in Canada. We have, throughout the city, we have these like large drainage ponds all around. And at least once a year, someone will report there's been an alligator sighting in the ponds, and so they have to go and investigate it, and it gets put out on Twitter. It's funny. And then it's a beaver. We have lots of beavers in the ponds. It's not going to be an alligator. Nope. And they'll post a picture. There's an alligator, and they post the picture, and then you zoom in and you're like, that's a beaver. So I guess if you've never seen a beaver in real life and the way they swim on the top of the surface of the water and their tail, but it's just funny. So like every year we're like waiting for the yearly beaver alligator sighting down at the ponds. So like our pond here at the end of the street, we have 2 beavers that live in there. We have a couple muskrats that are in there. We've got lots of geese and ducks and a turtle. And we also get, and I haven't seen him yet this year, but we get a blue heron that comes regularly, and he sits there and he suns. So it's really fun. We can go and kind of do our own little nature walk just at the end of the street. And if we're lucky, a train or 2 will go by at the same time. It's super exciting for the kids. Hey, LP, welcome in. Yeah, I'm still going. I know. I got to stop. You can hear my voice is starting to go. Yeah. So that was, ever since we had the my throat hasn't been what it was. My last live, was it last week or the week? No, it was the week before. I had to cut it short at like 45 minutes. I couldn't talk anymore. So I am starting to lose my voice now. My husband will be grateful. And so I will be shouting out, but I'm really happy that you could pop in, LP. It's really nice to see you tonight. So if you are watching this on the replay and you've gotten this far, and you still have questions about going live, just have fun with it. Like, just have fun with it. Treat it as a chat. Treat it as like a Zoom call. pop someone up on the screen with you if you're nervous about it, especially someone that you trust and that you're friends with and that you have a good rapport, so you can have a nice chit chat with it. Or show videos, show pictures. If you have pictures from your garden, if you have pictures from a trip you want to talk about, depends on the genre of your channel. But show things. Bring your show and tell, and bring your little seedlings. Oh no, it's stuck to the blanket. Bring your little seedlings in. Everyone's going to want to see. Everyone's always happy to see your seedlings, see whatever you're doing. Share your screen, show pictures, tell a story, do some gua sha on camera. Yeah, we've been all over the map tonight, but I've had fun. I hope you guys have had fun, and I really, really appreciate everyone that came in tonight and hung out and chatted and shared and asked questions, and I had a great time. So I will hopefully see you next week. Last week I wasn't here because we had to go to an event at my daughter's school, but that was fun. She enjoyed it. It was nice to finally meet her teacher after all this time, and some of the other students and everything. So thank you, Cape Cod Life. Thank you so much for coming in. Can we bring our dead and dying plants? These definitely tell. Yes. Bring anything. And you know what? You bring your dead and dying plants, and then you know what? People will give you some tips. All right. And here's the hashtag. Do not forget. I don't want to see you in my chat next week if you haven't done your video. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not threatening anybody. No threatening. Hey, Sherry, welcome in. How are you doing tonight? You must be getting excited. You must be getting excited. And Nikki, oh my gosh, everyone's coming in. Yeah, so tomorrow, is it tomorrow? When does the Soil Fam Expo start? I'm very excited. I can't wait to watch all the videos on that. I saw you were live today, but I was at work, so I'm like, I can't really watch that. But new for 22. Yes, Sherry. I want to see your new for 22 video. You guys probably have plenty of new fruit trees and anything else. You got your bunnies, you've got your chicks, you've got lots of stuff going on over there for sure. I know Nikki's going to have some things new going on over there too, right? Hey, welcome in. Thank you very much for popping in. Yay, this was fun. Have a great night. I'll work on the new for 22 video. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. If you know what movie that's from, comment below. No. Yeah, so when does the expo start, Sherry? I'm tired but sitting in bed eating popcorn. Starts tomorrow. I'm so jealous. But the good news is we probably will be having some thunderstorms on the weekend, which means I'll be stuck inside. So hopefully I'll be watching. Yay! So yeah, hopefully I'll have a chance. I won't be stuck out in the garden. I'll have a chance to actually come in and hang out, and it'll be so nice. I wish I could be there. Ding, 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 ding. We have a winner. Yes, I love that. That's like my favorite. That movie was so stupid, but that scene made it all worthwhile. Good night. Have a great night. You putting the baby to bed? Night, Lashana. Night, Karine. Night, Martin. Have a good night. I'm happy to hear that. I'm looking forward to seeing your video there, Nikki. And I think that's it for me tonight. My voice is starting to go. Go to bed, Sherry. Rest up. I know you're probably kind of on like a bit of a high. It's hard to go, oh, you're nervous, you're excited. It's hard to go to sleep. It's hard to sleep. I'm too excited to sleep. The old Disneyland commercial, right? Yeah. So anyways, thank you so much for everyone coming in. Thank you to anyone that is watching this in the replay. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Take care and good night.